What's good, fam? Welcome to Subs Over Dubs podcast. My name is Vision,
I'm Rebel.
and we're gonna break down Vinland Saga Season 2, Episode 15, The Storm.
Snoozeland Saga.
Hey, man. There's a lot of build-ups. I enjoy it. It's
Yo,
getting...
At what point is it gonna stop being a build-up? We 15
Hey,
episodes deep.
listen. You get mad at one season of build-up. I've seen this many episodes in another anime that we both watched, and it's still building up.
Nothing comes to mind.
Oh, that's crazy. But, so... First of all...
Would you call it off air? Peak fiction?
Peak fiction?
That's what you said, right? It was
Peakland?
Peakland. Oh,
Saga?
Peakland.
No.
That's terrible.
It was a troll. It's good, in my opinion.
Good?
It's still good to me. So your expectations of this anime is based off season 1, which is fine.
Yeah.
But like we discussed, the story kind of evolved. So I like how you got season 1 is very action packed or action oriented. There's good story and all that. But you're seeing two sides of the coin. You're seeing he was the attacker, Norse army, raiding villages. Now he's on the back end of what comes with that. What happens after, they raid people, attack land, slaves are created, and, he gets to see both sides. I think it's a good contrast, and I think it's interesting. I don't think it's as what people were hoping for thus far, but it still has its moments. And I don't think they're going to completely drown it out with this for the remainder of the season, but I will say, the more I'm watching this, the more I see Thorfinn talk. I don't think he's gonna hurt anyone again, unless.
So then, what's the point?
Hey, man, the point is, slavery is bad. It's not a choice. Okay.
I don't know. Kanye West said otherwise, but anyways.
I don't know. I don't remember the exact reason for why he said it, but
it was funny. Anyways. Look, listen. Yes, I am comparing it to season 1. Cool. The problem is, even the action aside, it's getting so repetitive. Like, it's the same thing. I'm never gonna hurt anyone again. Arnheid, I love her. I'm gonna let her be with her husband. It's so repetitive. Like, I could have guessed what was gonna happen. The end of the last episode, she was like, I'm gonna go treat his wounds. It's like, that's not what's gonna happen. You're gonna, like, I seen all of this happening, and that's what I don't like, is when you have a story that is so, like, what's the word?
predictable.
Yeah, predictable. It's just, why continue to watch that?
Interesting.
One Piece is not predictable. We're not gonna keep having this conversation every week.
If you fight someone like 4 or 5 times, you would think it's predictable that he's gonna win at the end of it.
No. Listen, it's different. When we're talking about a fight scene, you're talking about being able to predict the slowest, most boring, most unappealing story of all. They're in a farm. I get it. You already had you had 13 episodes to put it all into play.
We got to learn about the characters.
14, 15, 16, make it action-packed. We're sitting here still.
It's a little bit of action in there, this episode.
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. Give us a better
How you know
story.
it's not a ramp? How you know they're not ramping up?
Bro, you have 15 episodes of ramping. When is it going to get you good?
It was background. They're building the story, showcasing the world, adding characters, giving the backgrounds in the characters, giving, how they intertwining with each other. I think they've done a good job with that. Now, we'll say, again, coming from the first season, your expectations are totally different.
Let me
going
tell you
into this one.
This is where, like, to me, in my opinion, One Piece is different, right? Because a lot of the things that you're naming are a lot of things that One Piece does. Character building, intertwining the characters, things like that. They're doing it in different settings throughout a series. They literally have been stuck in the same place.
I would say there's a big difference, though.
How?
There's a big difference between character building for main characters and character building for, like, I don't know, third level characters.
And her husband are main characters?
No, but there's not.
That's what
they've
they're doing.
gotten 2 episodes
So far.
I think it's gonna end with this next one. I told you after the first time we seen the whole
see.
he escaped thing at the end, I was
We'll
like, this
see.
will probably be 2 or 3 episodes.
Oh no, man.
It's gonna come down to Snake and him fighting. He's probably gonna exact his revenge.
Is like, okay, so you say we do that to main characters, but our 2 main characters are boring as hell.
Ironhide, or not Ironhide, Thorfinn and Einar.
Einar can't do anything.
Yeah, we haven't seen him do anything yet. Cause they talked about it. He was like,
He's like, I'm never hurting anyone again. Bro, what was the point of it? If you're gonna sit here and literally tell us let's say, let's call it foreshadowing, that you're never gonna fight, how do you expect?
I don't think there's 2 ways they can go about this. I don't think he's not going to fight from now, or again, 2 ways. One, he does not fight and he becomes more of a political leader, and then people around him fight for him. Or 2, he tries that route because basically, when it comes to like you having ideals and things you stand for, like it doesn't mean anything. If you don't stand for anything, you don't stand for nothing. So if he's not willing to fight for that whatever his visions are, his viewpoints, it won't be taken seriously because like he already thought about it. You know, there's a reason why there's so many wars, because it's natural to them. Nothing's wrong with it. So for him to eliminate wars, thus eliminate slaves, he has to find a way to do it. Now, so far they've talked about, I believe they didn't call it Vinland, but they referenced it with the kettle, or not leaf. I mean, them going to the far side. And I think if the anime takes it that far, if we get to a season 3, season 4, where they actually make that journey, they'll come to find out the same thing if they get that far. But again, 1, he's either gonna have people around him fight for his ideals, or 2, he's gonna realize his ideals can't be brought to life unless he takes action.
Basically, he's gonna steal Canute's storyline, because that's what it seems like to me. Canute was in that same predicament where I'm not gonna fight, I don't want to hurt anybody, I want my words to impact, and then he realized that didn't work out. So now he had to turn into the Canute that he is today.
True.
If he steals that, like, it's just...
I think it's just a balance, though, because you need both. You need to be able to basically have those thoughts and ideas that you can bring to life, but also be willing to do what's necessary. But I feel like they both are going too far off the end. You had one side was doing the violence and is going way too far to the peaceful side. Same way Canute was very peaceful, and he's willing to do anything. He's killed his brother, right?
His brother, his dad. His
dad is understandable. His brother, he didn't necessarily have to do that.
Do him like that.
But in his mind, that's the only way he can get to his goals. Is like, look, I need this. I don't want to have to ask for it. I have to have it. So I think that's a compelling story. I like that. Now, am I gonna sit here and lie to you and say season 2 is better than season 1? No, because everyone likes the action. I still think season 2 is good. Now, I don't fault you or anyone else for calling it snooze land, because again, when you're coming off season 1, man, it's such a great action storyline. Yeah,
you're like,
so
man, this is,
and it's nonstop.
I seen it back to back. Finished season 1, literally the next week, season 2 came out. Unbeknownst
and just
to
the
me,
pace just changes.
To me was like, man, and I guess being able to binge those 25, because there was some slow episodes there, like out of 23, 24,
it's probably about
maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So it's like cool. But here it's just like, bro, we're
maybe it's reverse. Maybe you're gonna get a solid 5. So let me ask you that: if we got to that point, which I think there's gonna totally be unplay, with Canute coming to Kettle's farm. If you got that 5 episodes of street action, they just inverse it. Does it not make it a solid season? It doesn't be better.
It'll make it better, but it doesn't make up. So this is the thing: is when you have stories that are build-up stories, right? I need to be entertained. I'm not one of those people that substitutes one thing for another thing. Hey, because I had 5 episodes of action.
That was just a question.
I know. I'm saying just because I have 5 episodes of great action, could be the best fight scenes, it's not going to counteract the fact that the first 15 episodes to me are not on par. This is why, and we have another pod about that. But like, I just watched the first episode of Ranking of Kings. Unbeknownst to me, we talked about it. It's an OVA basically. And I felt like it was different, it was slow, yet the story had almost no action, little to no action, still entertaining, because it brought the characters to life. It gave me the characters that I remembered from the first season. It gave you funny, it gave you like the pacing was good, all in 25, 30 minutes. That did in one episode what failed 15 minutes to do. They're just dragging it.
Just dragging it.
It doesn't feel like it's worth it for anything. Like I feel like I'm not gonna get a reward.
I hear these comments and I see a different anime in my head, but we'll digress. So let me ask you this: in your mind, is there any way you see a positive outcome for the anime in your opinion? Like it'll.
So what is this? We just watched 15, right?
I don't think it'll exceed your expectations at this point because you feel like you've taken an L on so many episodes already. But like, what was like the best case outcome that could push in a direction you're like that was a good season? Is it possible just to say it like that?
It's definitely possible. However, you got to think about as each episode passes and I get more like that, it's like it's slowly hitting the nail. Because think about it, I had already told you when we did episode 13 review. If you give me 13, excuse my French, shitty episodes.
Whoa,
and then I get
shitty?
Yes, but then I get 13 or let's say 12 great episodes. Like the momentum has changed, the pacing has changed. This is gonna be, even if it was half of the first half of season 2 and half of season 1, where it's like, oh, there's action, but it's not as actiony, but it's still like, even if it met me in the middle, I would have been happy. But as each episode is just slowly hitting the nail, and I'm like, it's not there. Come episode 16, if it's another one of these, I'm done. Like, it's just like, I'm gonna purely watch it. I want to watch it purely for the sake of this podcast. Y'all gonna be like, Rebel, what'd you think? Man, just ask Vision, bro. I don't know. You don't want my
Jesus, man. Hey, man, listen. All Rebel's saying is his anime is not layered, man. He can't go outside of that zone. Like, if it's not fit the description of what he first got into,
nah, it's not even like that, because you have a lot of other animes like that. Like,
there's not too many animes that have drastically changed their like.
Oh, their theme, yeah.
Yeah.
Part of that's the problem, is I feel like it was a bait and switch. You give me such a dope ass season 1, and you're like, man, this is what this is gonna be, and they just swap.
This is partly why I appreciate it though, because you're getting Thorfinn, who is a ruthless assassin. Now, obviously, one's more entertaining than the other, but depending on how they go forward with this new Gandhi Thorfinn, you know, I think it's interesting because, like, we've seen what he was this way. He's gotten older, wiser. Now, it sucks that they're pushing the narratives thus far to he's fucking Gandhi-like, and he's, you know, I won't hurt anyone, but I do like to see the transition, because like you just mentioned, Canute, they switch stories essentially, and I think it's gonna. See, then the other thing is this: you see how they switch the sides.
Mm-hmm.
This is all hitting an apex where they clash, in my eyes. Okay. Now, if it's an actual him versus him clash, that's one thing. That'd be dope. But just in general, having them be, you know, the floor generals for both sides, I think that'll be interesting. Now, how it, you know, parlays and comes to fruition, that's yet to be seen.
And I think that's gonna be my biggest thing, is like, if it comes to them going head to head, and if Thorfinn just refuses to not fight, what is the outcome? Then that's one thing that makes me think, like, back to the outrageous theory that I had was, what if this was setting us up for Einar to continue being the main character, kind of like,
nah, there's no way.
Really?
The only way I see is like
if has been fading in the background as each episode passes. That's the problem, is like, I don't know if you know, it's like he's slowly getting less and less screen time, slowly being. Think about this. This is what I think in my mind. Thorfinn tells Einar about Vinland. Thorfinn refuses to fight. He dies. Einar fights. Then he's like, okay, well, this is the thing. This is the land that he was talking about. You know, there's a such land. I'm gonna go find it. Like,
I don't see in any situation where he dies and Einar just picks up the story. If we were to continue,
because
I hear you out, and I can see why you think that is. I just feel like that's too much assassination of the MC. If he were to die, the story has to continue through Canute in some form or fashion.
That's true too.
So, and the other thing is us not being, you know, manga readers, knowing how far we're in, because the manga is, I don't know how much further it is to this. So I don't know how many more seasons we can kind of look at and be like, okay, this is
like,
where we're at.
This was gonna happen, or
But a lot of people in the comments are complaining, similar to you, like, man, what's going on? And it's just, he's like, everyone's saying things that normal people would say. It's like, if you don't like it, why would you keep watching? Because everyone's kind of has the expectation of, the switch is going to get flipped, which I think is still in play in my eyes. But even if it doesn't, if they end this season, right, and it's Farmland Saga throughout, but they're setting up the
Like a war.
Canute versus Thorfinn, I would still watch it because I want to see this
But to
through.
drastically change the tempo and the theme of a show in hopes that people stay with it. It's like you gained a fan base, you lost a fan base to set up for season 3. What was the point if you have no fans in the first place? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey man, you
doesn't
gotta
make sense.
you gotta pull them in, man. That happens. We get bait and switch all the time, man. You see a good trailer or a good first episode, and it's just like, all right, this is it. All our budget went to the first episode.
yeah, that's true.
Explosion. Nah, shout out to Mega Me. But that's what. Listen, I just wanted to hear it. So as long as you think is a win, all right. So if you had to put an episode count, it's like you realistically can't see how this whole season can be saved in X amount of episodes remaining. Because we're only 3 episodes.
13, 14, 15.
3, right?
12 and 12, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We're only 3 episodes into the next season. So we have 9 left.
I'll give it 2 more episodes. If by the end of the 2 episodes.
You'll like the next episode for sure. Because you're going to have Snake versus Gadar.
But is it even going to be a fight? He's injured twice.
This is
Like,
true.
he's probably just going to hunt him down. Unless some magical MC that hasn't been anywhere to be found
Well,
saves him.
you probably didn't watch Did you watch the preview or no?
I don't like to watch the previews.
I'll digress. I won't speak on it, but I think it's gonna be interesting to see for sure how they're gonna handle this next episode. Like you mentioned, he is hurt, and I wanted to start the podcast off. Let me roll back, man. You gotta have the dumbest henchman of all time. Literally told this man 3 men watching this guy at all times. He's already killed one of your brethren. What does he do?
I wouldn't call them brethren. They're all.
I mean, he's in the squad, man. Come on.
I mean, yeah, for hire, but yeah.
I don't think they're like they're for hire for sure, but I think they all been together.
Oh, like you think he got
They
a
all,
snake and a
yeah. It's just they're just a
squad
yeah.
or whatever. That's valid.
So, but it was just like really. I seen it too. As soon as he walked up, grabbed him, like, bro, you're dead.
It's donezo, bro.
You're dead. And
I thought she was gonna do the right thing. I was like, you have a baby with Katil or whatever, and you're about to ruin that.
she hasn't even said anything about that yet. That's the
You
crazy.
don't even know yet.
That's
bro.
gonna. I wonder if those words are gonna be spoken. It's gonna break.
Bro, that's probably gonna be like, yo, just take
End me
bro.
now.
Just take me, bro.
What am I fighting for?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, his character is really the only thing his character is the only like wild card in the show. I think at the moment, it's like he could really do anything, and that's the only interest I have in the show at the moment. It's like what he can pop off at any second. He can be pissed off. He is the most interesting character, which is sad because he just got introduced like 2 episodes ago.
I think he's interesting because he's the violence. You're seeing action. You're being entertained. That's why he's.
Hey man,
I
look,
don't think he is personally. I still like from the top. I still really like Thorfinn's development. Again, would I push him this far to the fucking holy side? No. But
that's
like,
what I think about Vinland Saga.
the disrespect. Hey man, Vinland Saga, come up and shit on his ass. So then we can look back at these moments.
Here's this.
We're gonna have
they
him.
watch this and they're like, all right.
We're gonna have him bow and take a knee and bow.
I'll be the first one to apologize if they're really setting up for something crazy and it's just mind blowing. I'll apologize.
So
bro. I'll apologize.
Let me just set this table real quick. Let's say, we're closing out the season. It gets better for you, but it's not season 1, obviously. But then we get to the last 2 episodes and they set up with a cliffhanger and they start the battle. Would you be just upset because they took this long to build it up?
Yeah.
But what if it set up season 3 so well that season 3 was phenomenal?
Season
Would
3,
it make sense to you?
this is the only way that season 2, in my mind, makes sense. You get the last 2 episodes, the last episode setting up the fight, it looks badass. Season 3 has to surpass. Repeat that. Season 3 would have to surpass season 1 in order for all of that BS that you dealt with in season 2
For it to make
be
sense.
worth it.
No, 100%.
For it to be worth it, yeah, for sure.
I would say, but a lot of times when you have, well, I'm not gonna say a lot, but sometimes when you have the end of a story, are you getting to the end? I don't know how far along we are, but let's just say it's a pivotal point in the story. It by default gets better. A lot of times the last fights are some of the most, and it's because it's anticipated, I think. So like if you think about like Naruto, you had the Sasuke versus Naruto fight. Like, is that the best fight? You can be argued, but it's definitely gonna be up there
For sure.
like. So, and that was just after all, and there's years of filler
Mhm.
in between. So I'm not trying to give a direct comparison, but I'm just saying it's possible, and it's not in my mind. If they did it that way, it wouldn't be too hard to have a season 3 that overcame season 1, because you had the culmination of everything kind of reaching its apex. So as long as they did it correctly, it'd do well. I feel the same way about Attack on Titan. Now the ending feels like it's going on forever, but I'm here for it. It's been a good episodes for me personally. So
We
listen,
shall see.
I think we got some. I think we're gonna end this well, man. It'd be a terrible way to go out if we just didn't take anything from this and like.
You apologize for defending it for 15 to 18 weeks if we got
I wouldn't
nothing out of it.
apologize for defending it, but I will concede that they did not do what they needed to do. I'll say that.
All right,
For sure.
We'll take that for sure.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the. Listen, I'm still shout out to Vinland Saga. I'm staying strong. I'm not wavering over here like my co-host, and he's just like, I don't see it.
I've been asleep, man.
Just remember, man, who was a believer and who was a leaver.
We shall see. We shall see.
But we'll close out the episode with that one, guys. Let us know in the comments what you thought. What is going to happen? Is it Farmland or is it Peakland Saga Season 2?
Whose Land Saga?
Let us know, man.
Peace.